Have you been here at the sunsets? Oh my God.
We've got some great sunset spots to show you in Pismo Beach and then some on today's episode. Hey everyone, it's Jefferson Graham welcoming you to Season 4 of PhotowalksTV, where this season it's all about Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, the central coast of California, one of the greatest drives of all time, from Oceano Dunes, where we are right now, where you can actually drive your car on the beach, all the way up to Carmel and Monterey. We got a lot of big plans for the season, so I hope you'll stick with us. Meanwhile, today it's all about Pismo Beach, one of the greatest beach cities in California. Hi. See, I could go like this. Oh, you're yelling at me. You're yelling at me. Hey. That was quite a yell. Today's episode is all about photographing one of the jewels of the California coast. Of course, that would be Pismo Beach. And like you, I am also shooting on a smartphone, so no fancy camera gear needed. After I show you around Pismo and some of my favorite photo spots, we're going to meet up with the great local photographer Amy Joseph, who's going to show you her top photo spots. And believe me, no one knows Pismo like Amy.
I guess if I was a tourist and I came here, I'd want to see the pier and downtown, and there's lots of tide pools and stuff to explore. So there's just so much variety here.
Now, before we start snapping photos of Pismo Beach, quickly let's go over my top 3 photo tips. As always, make sure your battery's charged at 100%. And remember, you could always buy an accessory power brick for around 20 bucks that will give you an additional charge. I'll have links in the description. Make sure your lens is clean. We carry these things in our pockets and purses and they get rather dirty. You can wipe it clean with your shirt or blouse, really. But most importantly, make sure you have room on the phone to get new shots before you leave the house. Go to settings to check your storage availability. Also think long and hard about how you're going to back up your vacation photos, because what could be worse than getting all these great shots while you're away and then losing them? It's happened. I prefer knowing that every time I take the photo, it's going straight up to the cloud. Don't you? Now, if you've read my newsletter, you know my stance on photo backup. We're taking hundreds, if not thousands, of photos yearly on devices with limited storage available, and whether we like it or not, there's no such thing anymore as free online photo storage. Get used to it. You can back up your photos anywhere you like, but I can tell you that I happen to be a longtime happy customer of SmugMug. It's the reason that SmugMug is sponsoring this series. The company has better rates and terms than the competition, starting at $75 yearly with unlimited backup, and that's a feature you're not going to find with Apple, Google, or Microsoft. Okay, commercial over. Now let's get started on our photo journey of Pismo Beach. This way. Logistically, your photo walk will start at the pier and then have you walking at the beach left and right. You'll see why in a minute. You can shoot on the pier, you can go under the pier, or to either side and get a pretty awesome shot. But the one that's turned out to be the most popular is actually to the left of the pier.
Up until a few years ago, it was always the pier, pictures off of the end of the pier. Now when I think Pismo Beach, it's got to be pictures in front of our Pismo Beach letters.
People line up day and night to be photographed in front of the big letters, and while nighttime is the most striking shot, it's also the most challenging. You can't see your face in the dark when you pose in front of a neon sign. So what to do? Well, I've seen way too many people stand way in the back to pick up the entire sign and think that their flash will actually reach that far. It won't. Instead of standing in front of the letters, try standing 10 to 12 feet away with the sign in the background and have the flash go off there. That way you'll be both lit. If you do have to stand in front of the letters, you'll be able to actually see yourself if you do it during the day. Speaking of nighttime photography, downtown Pismo Beach is cool and funky, but photographically, it really comes alive after sunset when the neon signs are turned on. You can get great shots right then with the ambient light giving a nice blue, moody glow. An hour later, and the sky will turn black.
Now let's get into the sand for your basic beach life and then some.
One of the key highlights of coming to Pismo Beach are the caves, which are right on the other side of that rock, but important caution. You need to check your tide tables before you come out here. Right now it's at high tide. You're not getting on the other side of that rock to see the caves. I got to the caves at low tide. Let me show you some of those highlights.
Photos of the dry rocks without water are fun, and inside the caves, well, it's actually a little dark and a little sad as people have carved their names into the natural beauty, something that you will not be doing, right? Your best shot of the caves, hands down, is at sunset if the tides are with you. Our friend Amy got a killer shot of the sun setting, illuminating the cave at the same time. The trick is that she waited for the sun to hit the rocks inside. Had she not done that, had the sun been going straight in front of the camera, well, then the camera would have exposed for the sun and made the rocks all dark. Which brings me to my number one rule of photography: timing is everything, and Amy nailed it. Just above the cliffs is the Shore Cliff Hotel, where a flock of area pelicans like to hang by the hotel gazebo. Use your close-up lens from the phone to get as tight as you can. It will not work when they are flying, but when they're resting, they could be a willing subject. On the other side of town, the monarch butterfly season runs from November to February, and pro tip, you will see more butterflies at the warmest part of the day. Catching them on your phone is a challenge as they flock to tall trees, but occasionally they do come to the ground to rest, and you could get a tighter shot then. Just about a mile down the road are the Oceano Dunes, where you get to drive your car on the beach, and that's not the only selling point, because you also have the dunes, and the dunes are amazing to photograph. The best time is magic hour, of course, when the dunes glow either in black and white or color, though I'm rather partial to the moody look of black and white. I also love driving in the sand because it was just too much fun, but a friendly word of caution. The state has banned the further use of driving on the dunes, but the issue is tied up in the courts, and who knows where that will go. My advice: use it or lose it.
Families have been going out there for years and years and years and years, and they want to keep doing that. It's just family fun. It's just in a different way, and it's been happening for so long, so why change it now? But, it's up to the powers that be, and we just have to kind of sit by the sidelines and see what happens.
Off the beach, people in Pismo Beach take their eating really seriously, and there are 3 local institutions that are just beloved. One of them is right down there. It's called the Splash Cafe. The other is a little further down the street. It's called Hoagie's. And finally, for dessert, you can't beat those cinnamon rolls, huh?
Pismo and cinnamon rolls. It's kind of interesting because you wouldn't think these sweet, fresh, hot rolls would go with like the hot beach, but you can't avoid them when you're walking a block away and you can just smell that sweet smell of cinnamon.
Photographically, you can get some pretty great shots of the rolls, even though they're covered in glass. Smartphone photo tip: remember that you can put your phone directly up to the glass to eliminate glare, something you just can't do with a big camera lens. Secondly, if you want great shots of the rolls as they are being made, well, the owners told me to come back the next morning at 6:30 a.m., where I had plenty of room to capture the entire process. Thank you very much to Cindy, who owns the shop with her husband. Portraits like this, don't just happen automatically. You have to ask for them nicely. Cindy was good enough to pose with her rolls. Then, I looked at the shot and realized the tray was half empty. I thought we could do better, so I asked her to pose again, this time with a full tray, and she obliged. Which shot do you prefer, folks?
Let me ask you about Pismo Beach.
Yeah,
How
you're
would you
Mr.
describe
Blog.
it to somebody who's never been here before?
It has the most gorgeous beach and huge beach where you can walk. Doesn't matter how packed we are on Saturday and Sunday, you'll still get a little piece of beach for yourself.
You can't go wrong at sunset here.
Now, speaking of photo highlights of Pismo Beach, how could we not talk sunset time?
And my favorite view from sunset is on the patio at Inn of the Pier. You can get some gorgeous views of not only the sunset, but the entire pier. So some of my favorite photos that I've taken have been up there.
Sunsets and Pismo Beach go hand in hand, and our friend Amy has several sunset spots that she loves, and she wants to take us to her favorite. So let's go meet her.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of your work. I love all these flowers and your rays of sunshine and your sunsets. And if anybody knows Pismo sunsets, I'm told it's you.
Oh, thank you. We're going to go down to the Butterfly Grove.
Which is what, about a mile down the way?
About a half mile
Okay,
south.
great. And this like goes all the way back into town, right?
Yeah, it goes back. It's a creek. I think it's a Roy Grande Creek. But I love this spot. You'll get reflections off the water, the trees. I mean, there's just so much different things to look at.
What happens, it's Wednesday, you look outside and you say to yourself, tonight's the night, right?
Every night's the night.
Every night's the night?
I look outside and I just drive down here, and I mean, you find something different every day. If it's clams, birds, you know, flowers.
But what will get you moving faster than anything? Clouds?
Depending on the sky.
Why do you like clouds?
I love sun rays, and I like low tide reflections of the clouds on the sand. Those are my favorite things to get.
And they add a lot to the shot, right?
Yeah, I just think it's beautiful. I love reflections. So low tide, good clouds, you know, it makes it interesting.
What do you love about photography?
Just observing everything. I think I just started doing it because I like to look at everything. So it's fun to capture it.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty area to look at.
Yeah. I said you can see the hills from here and the pier.
This is our sunset shot?
Well, it's a pretty one. It's one of them.
Okay, so do we like this, or do we want to be on the other side of the tree?
I like these trees right up here.
Which trees?
Walk over this big fallen tree.
Well, go ahead, walk over them. Take us to your spot.
Well, I mean, I like it. I love this tree.
I think the point is, if you like it, we like it.
Okay.
What's your secret to shooting a great sunset?
No secret, it's the sunset. Just taking a picture
but some
of
pictures look good, some pictures don't. Yours all look great. I've seen what you have on your wall, and I know you must delete a lot of them until you should go to the good one. So
timing, lighting,
putting something really interesting in the foreground so that it's not just a picture of a sun going over the water.
Probably,
I know you like to do that, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Most people would go to shoot the sunset at the pier. I've done it a million times as well, but we didn't, and that's because?
To see more of Pismo. There's birds and wildlife and trees. It's interesting, I think.
And clams.
Clams,
yes.
Yeah, that's new.
Right?
That's definitely.
And, you know, again, having something in the foreground really makes a sunset picture a lot more interesting.
Yes.
How boring is a picture of a body of water?
Right. It gives perspective. Yep.
Future travelers, if you go, know that Pismo is about a 4-hour drive from San Francisco, 3 hours from LA, and 2 hours from the Central Valley towns of Fresno and Bakersfield and environs. Pismo is about 90 minutes north of Santa Barbara and just down the road from Morro Bay, Hearst Castle, Big Sur, and all those great Highway 1 attractions. For more info on Pismo, go to pismochamber.com or at Pismo Chamber on Instagram.
Amy, thank you so much for showing us your favorite Pismo Beach shots.
My pleasure.
So you're going to go back to photographing and probably editing tonight's photos.
Right.
Tell everybody how to see your great work.
My website is centralcoastpictures.com.
Right.
And I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Central Coast Pics, PIX.
PIX, okay. And when you're in Pismo Beach, come knock on your door, except you won't be there. But you're available because your phone number is listed right there.
Right, at my gallery at the Pismo Beach Hotel.
All right, so stay tuned for an important announcement about where we're going to next, and say goodbye to Amy. Amy, thanks.
Bye, thank you.
You have anything else to say? Because that could really hurt.
Well, I know you agree with me that Pismo Beach is cool, and I know you're asking yourself the question, where to next on Route 1? Well, thanks for asking, because it's straight up that way. We're going to go to San Luis Obispo. It's got a really cool, funky, old downtown and a lot of really nice rural areas just surrounding it. We're going to meet a local photographer who's going to show us around, so stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, any questions or concerns, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'd love you to subscribe to PhotowalksTV, and I'd love you to look for me on Twitter and Instagram, where I'm at Jefferson Graham. Next stop, San Luis. Let's go. Woo!